When we lose someone we love, it's often the stories that we have to tell about them that offer the most comfort.
And with that in mind, WCCO wants to give you a chance to share your loved one's story. It's a way to put the spotlight on an average person most of us has never met, but one who has made a lasting impression.
Whenever he would be up there playing, too, I would always notice he'd be smiling, and he always looked to me to make sure I was watching. You know, I think he wanted his wife to be his biggest fan.
Joe Freppert was 56 years old when he died 3 weeks ago. His family will never forget his love of music. As our Angela Davis found out, music was just one of many things that made this St. Paul man's life story such a memorable one.
Joe taught himself how to play the guitar when he was a child.
He could hear a song and go, and then do it. Without having to see the music, he could play.
As an adult, Joe performed with local bands. As a parent, he played for his 3 kids a lot.
When I was in, I think it was 3rd grade, I told my whole music class that my dad wrote, "Do you hear what I hear?" Because I was convinced that he would always play these Christmas songs, and I thought that he wrote that.
Joe could also build things, and after studying a how-to book on construction, he built his own cabin in western Wisconsin.
We bought a book, and I read the book to him as he built. We'd sit outside in the dirt, and the kids would play.
Joe met his second wife, Jackie, years after his divorce.
I did something I normally don't do. I'm not a overly forward person, but I gave him the head nod to come over. And
Jackie says she loved how much he loved his kids.
he leaves me with a wonderful family that I didn't have before him. So now I get to, I say, experience Joe yet through his kids and be able to have a part of him yet.
Joe's son, Jerome, also plays the guitar for his church and for a local band.
When I was 15, he gave me another guitar for my birthday, and I started playing, and I haven't stopped since.
Joe owned more than a dozen guitars.
I can remember multiple conversations that we've had about each and every one of them.
The family says his sense of humor was priceless.
Even when he was sick just recently, he was making jokes to the nurse as she came in. He called the nurse the thing that won't go away.
Well, his family says Joe was also a lifelong Minnesota Twins fan, but it was a very complicated relationship. He wanted them to win, but he was certain they would lose each game. In the last year, as his health declined, Joe still did volunteer work. He was a tutor to high school students who were learning how to play the guitar. We would love to share your loved one's life story. If you've recently lost someone and would like to share their story with us, please head to our website at WCCO.com/links. Scroll down the page and look for the link that says Share Someone's Life Story. You know, in news, we talk a lot about how people die. And so for me, it's been wonderful to talk about how people live.
I love that.
And what they're remembered for.
And I have to imagine it's very cathartic for family members, too, to be able to share their story of the loved one.
Yeah, and as you can see, it brings people together. You remember stuff that you hadn't thought about, and you appreciate, you know, these small characteristics about people that that you just will be their legacy.
What's the plan? 1 or 2 of these a week now? Or
I'll be with you every Wednesday at 6
every Wednesday,
p.m.
great. Awesome. Well, we look forward to them.
We certainly do.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Angela.